Coming up on Business Spotlight, two of Johannesburg's greatest residents are bestowed with the Freedom of the City Award. We bring you highlights from the International Festival of Language and Culture. Executive Mayor of the City of Johannesburg, Park Stowell, recently presented two of South Africa's most prominent apartheid stalwarts with the Freedom of the City Award. Advocate George Bizos, a human rights lawyer who defended Nelson Mandela in the Rivonia trial in 1963 and 64, and political activist, Rivonia trialist and Robben Island prisoner Andrew Mlangeni, who was unable to attend the event.
These two men upon whom we today confer the honor of free men of the city of Johannesburg were both there to hear those powerful words in person. One as a defendant, the other as a member of the defending legal team. We bestow this honor not only in recognition of their being amongst those who made that noble, supremely principled stand at Madiba's side, confronting the logic of a deeply illegitimate system with profoundly democratic clarity and eloquence, risking the death penalty and persecution to do it. We also honor the service they gave and continue to give to the very democracy that they helped lead the struggle to create. And through them, we honor the values enshrined in our constitutional order, the great refutation of the system of our the great refutation of the system our honorees gave their freedom and risked their lives to bring down. Honoring those values to the fullest will be the work of several generations yet. We have not yet escaped the long shadow of the systems that the Rivonia trial exposed to the world as so profoundly unjust. To truly honor the recognition we bestow today, to truly consecrate their status as freemen of this city, we must commit as we confer the status of freemen that we will redouble our fight against the consequences of the system they helped bring down.
This year's ceremony under the theme I Took a Stand coincided with the 22nd commemoration of South Africa's first democratic elections on Thursday, the 27th of April 1994, and the 20th anniversary of the adoption of the Constitution. In the past 15 years, the city of Johannesburg has bestowed the Freedom of the City on stalwarts such as Walter Sisulu in 1997, Nelson Mandela in 2004, Joe Slovo in 2007, as well as Ahmed Kathrada in 2012.
Our cities remain a patchwork of race and class-based ghettos that would have troubled Verwoerd and the architects of grand apartheid not at all. Only now, the costs of transport and housing are enforcing the divisions once enforced by the past laws, the Group Areas Act, and the Native Laws Amendment Act. So we must intensify the efforts under our Corridors of Freedom program to lead the private and public sector alike to cast transformation in glass and indeed in concrete. To invest in mixed use, mixed income realities along our transit-oriented corridors and in our new transit nodes. The Statistician General has just this week reminded us of the scale of the educational and skills deficit still being experienced by those historically disadvantaged in our country. So we must continue as the city to drive the powerful response we have initiated through the Vulindlele Jozi program, our far-sighted program with the Harambee Youth Empowerment Accelerator to break down barriers to opportunity for 200,000 young people, both through placement into opportunities and through state-of-the-art, market-defined skills development channels. Johannesburg's economy is now twice the size it was in the first year of our democracy. But the economy remains highly concentrated in the hands of the few. So we must not shirk from the transformation commitment, which is epitomized by the city's Josie at Work program to empower and develop thousands upon thousands of community-level enterprises. Such enterprises allow the many to capture the value and opportunity growing our township economies, or rather, an opportunity growing our township economies represent. The people of our townships must reap much more of the billions in value that they spend on goods and services each year. The city must be firm in its commitment to build pathways for all opportunity and prosperity to help them achieve.
George Bizos gave the media his take on South Africa's current political arena.
That's true that there's poverty, that there's not up to standard education, that there is joblessness, that there are problems. But actually being pessimistic about it is not an answer. The question that we should be asking, what can we do together in order to bring about the situation that the Mandelas and Sisulus and Godfrey Peaches and the numerous people that gave up their liberty, some of them their lives, for a South Africa of which we are all proud. I am concerned about the political divisions. They are entitled to it, but there must be a consensus as to what do we want, and not promising things that cannot be delivered overnight, because there is a Greek joke: vote for me and I will bring water to the village. Vote for me and I will bring a road to the village. Vote for me and we will build bridges over your river. Excuse me, sir, we don't have a river. We'll bring you a river. I think that there are promises made by some that is pie in the sky, and without any prospect of it being brought to being in a limited period of time. But it doesn't mean that we can ignore them. We must really try and get a unity of purpose in order that what we have not achieved in 20 years is proceeded towards with greater urgency.
Johannesburg recently hosted the 14th International Festival of Language and Culture. The event originated in Turkey, promoting world languages and cultures amongst the youth.
IFLC Language and Cultural Festival, so we have dance groups, we have got songs, we have got cultural activities, we've got costume show, and it all goes around the world in 30 different countries this year. This is going to happen, and it started from Philippines, it's going to now South Africa, from South Africa it's going to go to Washington DC, from Washington DC it's going to go to Europe, some European countries like Romania, Belgium, Germany, These are the countries they're gonna be hosting this festival, and we are South Africa. We are one of them. We are teaching the youngsters to embrace each other, to learn from each other, to exchange the cultures. At the same time, when this Peace Express, we call it Peace Express, when they move around the world in different countries, people realize that there's no only one culture, one language. There are a lot of variety, there are a lot of cultures, languages. We can learn from each other. There's no one world. We have got rainbow world, we have got rainbow nations, so we learn from each other actually.
I think Joburg and South Africa are the ideal location for this festival. It's a festival of language and culture, and as we know, we pride ourselves in this country on our diversity in terms of culture, and with our 11 official languages, I don't know where you'd be better placed to hold this festival. And Joburg itself is such a warm, welcoming, diverse destination in terms of the people who live and work here, the people that the city attracts. And as well, from a convention bureau perspective, it's very important for us to host as many international conferences and conventions, because not only does it expose us to all the intellectual capital that's exchanged, but it also is a chance to showcase our city to the visitors that come here. And hopefully they'll have such a wonderful time that they'll go back and tell other people about that, and which will serve us well in the future from both a business and a leisure tourism perspective.
My vision is that each and every youth in Johannesburg should learn each and every, all our official languages, and also international languages. So I would really love to see all of us knowing all our different cultures and different languages, really, because that would mean that we will get to relate more, because really I believe that a way to get to a man's idiosyncrasy is through his language.
From the day one, City of Joburg, they were positive about this project because they also support the art activities, at the same time diversity, and they have got projects against racism. So this fit in their agenda, and they help us to organize the venue we are using. Joburg Theatre is City of Joburg's. It belongs to City of Joburg. So they're hosting our guests wonderfully here, and we are happy to work with them.